This is the Hungarian Grand Prix of 2009. We are just set for qualifying for the big Grand Prix on Sunday, and so much was to be talked about, including the debut of a young Spaniard at the name of Jaime Alguersuari, who made his debut in this very race, replacing Sebastian Bourdais, who, let's just say, underperformed. However, his moment of glory would be overshadowed by something crazy. As Felipe Massa was on his way back to the pits, he was going through turn number 4 when he went straight onto the grass and into the barriers at 62 miles per hour, with his foot still on the throttle and with Felipe not moving at all. His engineers tried to reach out to him but could not hear anything. Felipe had seemed unconscious, and immediately the medical team rushed. But something stranger happened.
Oh, something is broken on my car.
Stay firm.
Stay on the back.
You're all clear behind. You're all clear behind. Just have to bring it in. But it looks like something on the rear heave has collapsed. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It looks like the rear roll bar, I think.
As you may have just heard, Rubens Barrichello complained that something on his car was loose and had broken off. And it seemed as if that object was a spring. And it seemed again as if that same spring near Felipe Massa's accident had hit Felipe Massa on his head and possibly in his face. This spring had hit Felipe at over 200 kilometers an hour, and the car was cleared away and Massa was taken to hospital. This spring that had fallen off the suspension of Rubens Barrichello's Bronze GP had hit Massa right above the left eye. And it was a scary time, and also a quite frightening thing to imagine and to see. The images of Massa and his injured left eye are quite frightening. And even worse is his helmet of that same day, as it broke the visor and partially and a good amount of his helmet. These are images which are just mind-blowing, and you could not imagine something like this happening to someone. It is exactly what you had seen that day, and many changes had to be made to helmets in the future. This had just come 6 days after the son of John Surtees, Formula 1 and MotoGP world champion Henry Surtees, was hit by a tire in the face or on the head in a Formula 2 race at Brands Hatch, only 6 days before Felipe Massa's incident had occurred. As you may imagine, this had triggered the debate of whether Formula 1 cars and single-seater racing cars in general should resort to closed cockpits, as many of these incidents were becoming a bit too much. And you would almost think that this was another one of those incidents, but thankfully he was stabilized and Felipe Massa was alive and conscious, but would had to be replaced because he could not take part in Q3, the race on Sunday, and any other race for the remainder of the 2009 Formula 1 World Championship. Felipe Massa during his recovery time had images that were astonishing, with stitches to his face on the part where the spring had struck him. He was lucky enough not to get struck directly on his eye, but had suffered a fracture to the skull. And this has to be one of the best pieces of news you could hear. But obviously, after this may have been an even bigger change to Felipe Massa's whole career. Yes, even though this moment you're seeing on screen may have broken him, but his incident in Hungary literally broke him, but not just physically, but even to his form, because we never got to see Felipe Massa win a race after that. And his time at Ferrari from 2010 onwards would be quite devastating. But Felipe Massa was a really good driver, and I'm sure a lot of us who've watched him for years can appreciate his driving and his magical skills. We wish to see him more win races and possibly even a championship. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.